Drinking water in the morning sounds like a healthy habit, right? But for folks over 60, it could be acting like a poison in your system if you're making any of these 5 dangerous mistakes that almost nobody talks about. Some of these mistakes can seriously interfere with your medications and cause health problems you'd never know had to do with your morning glass of water. Did you know that one tiny change in how you drink your morning water could boost your energy, reduce pain, and even make your medications work better? So what's the secret? The information I'm sharing today comes from over 15 years of research into senior health and has been verified by top medical experts. These aren't generic tips. They're specific, science-backed guidelines that even your doctor probably doesn't have time to explain in detail during your appointments. Stick with me for the next few minutes, and I guarantee you'll never look at your morning glass of water the same way again. So stay with me. Don't skip ahead. Don't assume this doesn't apply to you, because sometimes the key to living healthy is starting with the most minor changes. It's in the everyday habits you barely notice anymore. If you haven't already, I recommend subscribing and turning on the bell so you don't miss future videos that help you stay more potent, safer, and more informed every step of the way. Let's begin. Mistake number 1, drinking ice-cold water on an empty stomach. Our first mistake might seem harmless, but it's one of the most common issues I see with seniors. When you wake up in the morning, your body is in what medical professionals call a transitional state. Your metabolism is starting to rev up, your circulation is increasing, and your organs are essentially coming online for the day. Recent research from leading medical institutions shows something fascinating. As we age past 60, our body's temperature regulation mechanisms become significantly less efficient. Compared to someone in their 30s, your body's ability to adapt to temperature changes can be reduced by nearly half. So what happens when you shock this waking system with ice-cold water? Your blood vessels suddenly constrict, your digestive tract tightens, and your body diverts energy to warm that water, energy that should be used to wake up your systems properly. For seniors with existing circulatory issues, arthritis, or digestive sensitivities, this morning shock can trigger or worsen symptoms that might plague you for hours afterward. Think of your body like a fine old car with a vintage engine. You wouldn't pour cold liquid into a delicate engine warming up. You'd give it time to reach operating temperature first. Last year at my senior wellness retreat in New England, I met Gloria, a retired elementary school principal in her mid-70s. Gloria had always prided herself on her healthy habits, walking daily, eating well, and starting each morning with her wake-up ritual, a large glass of ice water with lemon. "It's been my morning jumpstart for decades," she told the group. "But lately, I've been having these strange symptoms that my doctor can't quite figure out." Gloria described feeling sharp stomach pains about 20 minutes after her morning routine, experiencing cold hands and feet despite the summer heat, and occasionally feeling lightheaded when standing up too quickly. When I asked about her morning water temperature, she looked surprised. "Ice cold, of course. Gets me going faster." We talked about the body's changing needs as we age, and Gloria reluctantly agreed to try warm water for just 1 week. She was skeptical but willing to experiment. At our follow-up session, Gloria couldn't contain her excitement. "I feel like I've discovered a secret," she exclaimed. "Not only have those stomach pains disappeared, but I feel more energized in the morning. I never would have connected my symptoms to something as simple as water temperature." What Gloria discovered wasn't just about comfort. Her body absorbed the water more efficiently, supporting her systems rather than shocking them. So, what's the optimal approach for your morning hydration? Instead of reaching for ice water, opt for a room or slightly warm water, about the temperature of a pleasant bath for your hands. Here's a 3-part morning hydration recommendation. First, keep a thermal carafe by your bedside with room temperature water. This allows you to hydrate without even getting up, giving your body that first gentle boost of hydration it desperately needs after hours without water. Second, about 15 minutes after waking, prepare a cup of warm water with a small addition, perhaps a slice of fresh ginger, a quarter of a lemon, or even a tiny pinch of cinnamon. These natural elements not only make the experience more enjoyable, but also support your digestive system's natural awakening process. Third, if you love cold water, wait at least 45 minutes after waking before introducing colder temperatures to your system. By then, your body has properly warmed up and can handle the temperature change without the shock effect. You will improve morning energy, digestion, and medication effectiveness by making this simple change. The best part? It costs nothing, takes no extra time, and can make a noticeable difference in as little as 3 days. Isn't your comfort worth this minor adjustment to your morning routine? Mistake number 2. Drinking water too quickly or in big gulps. The second mistake might surprise you because it's something many of us do without thinking twice. We wake up feeling thirsty, grab that glass of water and down it in a few big gulps. Is it efficient? Well, your body doesn't quite see it that way. Recent findings from the American Heart Association shed light on why this common habit can be particularly problematic for seniors. When you drink water too quickly, you create a sudden change in what doctors call hydrostatic pressure throughout your body. This sudden influx forces your kidneys to work overtime, processing all that liquid simultaneously. Here's where age becomes a critical factor. After 60, most of us experience about a 30% reduction in kidney function compared to our younger years. It's just a natural part of aging, but our bodies can't handle these sudden changes as efficiently anymore. The result? Your electrolyte balance, especially sodium levels, can temporarily shift, affecting everything from your blood pressure to your heart rhythm. That lightheaded feeling some of you experience after chugging water isn't in your imagination. It's your body struggling to maintain balance during this sudden change. I remember meeting Frank at one of the wellness seminars last fall. At 75, Frank was the picture of discipline. A former high school football coach who still maintained many of his athletic habits decades later. Every morning for the past 40 years, Frank told me with a hint of pride, "I've started my day by drinking an entire water bottle before my feet even hit the floor." That's what I taught my players. Hydrate fast and get moving. Lately, Frank has been experiencing something troubling. About 10 to 15 minutes after his morning routine, he'd feel dizzy and sometimes needed to sit down until it passed. "I figured it was just part of getting older," he said. "My doctor checked my heart and my blood pressure. Everything looked fine on paper." Frank was skeptical when I suggested his rapid water consumption might be the culprit. "It's just water," he said with a laugh, but he agreed to try a different approach, sipping slowly over 15 minutes instead of gulping it down. A month later, Frank called me. "I can't believe something so simple made such a difference," he said. "No more dizziness in the morning. And here's the crazy part, I actually feel more hydrated drinking less water, but drinking it slowly." You can't teach an old coach new tricks, but this one was worth learning. So, how can you properly hydrate without overwhelming your system? First, focus on how you drink instead of thinking about a certain amount. Try my simple 3 to 5-10 rule. Take 3 small sips, about a tablespoon each, pause for 5 seconds to let your body begin processing, and extend your total drinking time to about 10 minutes for an 8-ounce glass. A practical tip that works wonders is to use a smaller glass instead of a large one. We naturally finish what's before us, so a smaller vessel encourages slower consumption. I recommend a 4-ounce juice glass for morning hydration. Another strategy is placing your water slightly out of convenient reach, on the opposite side of your nightstand or a few steps away in the bathroom. This small barrier prevents that instinctive grab and gulp reaction when you first feel thirsty. For those who find plain water boring to sip slowly, add natural flavor enhancers like cucumber slices, mint leaves, or a splash of tart cherry juice. These additions make the experience more enjoyable and encourage you to savor each sip rather than rush through it. Remember, hydration isn't a race. It's a gentle process of nurturing your body after hours without water. By giving your system time to absorb what it needs gradually, you'll improve hydration while avoiding those uncomfortable symptoms that so many seniors mistakenly attribute to just getting older. Mistake number 3. Drinking from plastic bottles left overnight. Our third mistake might surprise you because it seems so convenient and harmless. Many of us keep a plastic water bottle on our nightstand for easy access in the morning. It's practical. What you don't see happening overnight could be affecting your health. According to the FDA and leading environmental health experts, plastic bottles left sitting, especially in warmer rooms or near lamps and electronic devices, undergo a subtle chemical change. They release compounds like BPA and other endocrine-disrupting chemicals into your drinking water. Now, when we were younger, our bodies could process and eliminate these compounds fairly efficiently. But here's where age makes a critical difference. Harvard Medical School research shows that after 60, our detoxification systems, primarily the liver and kidneys, that become up to 60% less efficient at clearing these chemicals from our bodies. Why does this matter? These chemicals don't just pass through, they can mimic hormones in your system, potentially disrupting the delicate balance that changes with age. If you're managing conditions like thyroid issues, diabetes, or hormonal changes, these small chemical exposures might be silently interfering with your health or medication effectiveness without knowledge. I'll never forget meeting James, an 81-year-old retired professor. During our discussion about morning routines, James mentioned something that caught my attention. Every night before bed, I fill up my trusty plastic water bottle and keep it right on my nightstand, he explained. Been doing it for years. It's so convenient to have water right there when I wake up. But then James shared something concerning. Over the past several months, he'd been experiencing unexplained fatigue and persistent headaches that seemed worse in the mornings. He'd seen his doctor and had numerous tests, but everything came back normal for his age. That's the phrase I've come to dread, James chuckled. Normal for your age usually means they don't know what's wrong, but don't want to worry you. What caught his attention was learning that his water bottle, which was often sitting near his warm bedside lamp, was in the perfect condition for accelerated chemical leaching. James decided to make a simple change. He switched to a glass carafe and habitually filled it with fresh water each evening, keeping it away from heat sources. When I ran into James at a community event a few months later, he pulled me aside with excitement in his eyes. You know, I thought it was all hooey at first, he admitted. But those headaches I'd been having for months, gone. And I'm waking up feeling clearer than I have in years. My daughter says I even look better. Could something that makes such a difference? The good news is that this problem has straightforward solutions that won't disrupt your convenient morning water routine. First, consider switching your water container material. Glass is my top recommendation. It's completely inert and won't leach anything into your water, no matter how long it sits. I particularly like carafes with built-in infusers for adding natural flavors. Stainless steel is another excellent option, especially insulated bottles that keep your water at the perfect temperature until morning. If you must use plastic, and I understand some plastic bottles are more lightweight and practical, look for bottles specifically labeled BPA-free and phthalate-free. But remember, even these should be refreshed with new water each morning rather than drinking from water sitting overnight. A smart habit is the evening prep morning refresh technique. Each evening, prepare your water vessel of choice, but instead of filling it all the way, fill it just halfway. In the morning, top it off with fresh water. This gives you immediate access to water, and you are minimally exposed to any potential container chemicals. The most important tip is to keep all water containers away from heat sources overnight. That means not next to lamps, electronic devices, or in direct morning sunlight. Heat accelerates chemical leaching, so cool, dark storage is best. These small changes require minimal effort, but can significantly reduce your exposure to unwanted chemicals, giving your body's already hard-working detoxification systems a well-deserved break, and potentially resolving health issues you never realized were connected to your water habits. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward to the next. Mistake number 4. Drinking water incorrectly with medications. Our fourth mistake affects nearly 90% of folks watching this video. According to the National Institute on Aging, about 87% of adults over 65 take at least one prescription medication regularly, and many take 5 or more. Most people don't realize that how you take these medications with water can dramatically impact how well they work in your body. Think about this for a moment. You're paying good money for these medications, visiting doctors, dealing with insurance. But could the way you're taking them with water be reducing their effectiveness by up to 40%? That's what researchers have discovered. A 2022 study from the University of Michigan found that morning stomach acidity levels can significantly affect medication absorption. For specific medications like thyroid, blood pressure, and cholesterol, the amount of water you drink and when you drink it can make the difference between whether the medication works correctly or not. It's like having a premium car but putting the wrong fuel in it. You won't get the performance you're paying for. And at our age, those medications are often essential for our quality of life. Let me tell you about Evelyn, 77, a retired nurse with a sharp mind and a sharper sense of humor. I've been taking my thyroid medication for 15 years now, she said. Every morning, the same routine. Wake up, take my little pill with a big glass of water, make coffee, and enjoy my toast with jam. I've got it down to a science. But recently, Evelyn had been feeling off. Fatigue, brain fog, weight changes, all symptoms that her thyroid medication should have been controlling. Her doctor had increased her dosage twice in 6 months, but blood tests showed her thyroid levels were still all over the place. I was starting to think I was losing my mind, Evelyn confessed. I'm a nurse. I know how to take medication properly. During a routine checkup, Evelyn's endocrinologist asked something no other provider had. Walk me through exactly how you take your medication in the morning. When Evelyn described her routine, the doctor nodded knowingly. There's our problem, he said. You're doing 3 things that are interfering with your medication absorption. First, Evelyn used too much water, diluting the stomach acids needed to process the medication. Second, she wasn't waiting long enough before eating breakfast, which was preventing proper absorption. And third, her morning coffee further interfered with the medication's effectiveness. I was honestly embarrassed, Evelyn told us with a laugh. Here I am, a retired healthcare professional, and I've been taking my medication wrong for years. The doctor suggested a simple change. Take the thyroid medication with just 4 to 6 ounces of room temperature water. Then wait 30 to 45 minutes before eating or drinking anything else. It seemed too simple to make a real difference. Evelyn said, but within 3 weeks my energy was back, the brain fog lifted, and my next blood test showed my thyroid levels were perfectly in range without increasing my dosage. All those years of struggling, and the solution was changing how I took my medication with water. So how can you ensure you get the full benefit of your medications? First, some medications like diuretics or certain antibiotics must be taken with 8 ounces of water. Others, like thyroid medications, work best with 4 to 6 ounces. If you're unsure which category your medications fall into, this is a perfect question for your pharmacist. Second, pay attention to timing. For most morning medications, especially thyroid, osteoporosis, and certain heart medications, take them with room temperature water as soon as you wake up. Then wait 30 to 45 minutes before eating breakfast or having coffee or tea. This waiting period is crucial for proper absorption. Third, consider the water quality itself. Tap water with high mineral content can sometimes interfere with certain medications. If you're on multiple medications or have had absorption issues, filtered water might be a better choice. At your next pharmacy visit, ask this specific question. Are there any special instructions for how much water I should take with each medication? Pharmacists often have detailed information that doesn't fit the prescription label, but can make a difference in your medication's effectiveness. Remember, we're not just taking medications, but investing in our health and quality of life. Making sure they work properly is worth the small effort of taking them correctly. After all, what's the point of remembering to take your pills if they're not able to do their job correctly? Mistake number 5, skipping breakfast and only drinking water. Our fifth and final mistake is becoming increasingly common as certain eating trends have gained popularity. I'm talking about skipping breakfast and replacing it with only water, sometimes called morning water fasting. While this approach might work well for younger adults, it can be particularly problematic for elderly people. Here's why. According to the American Geriatric Nutrition Association, during a typical 7-8 hour night's sleep, your body loses between 400 to 600 milliliters of water just through breathing and perspiration. But something else is happening too. Your blood sugar drops to its lowest level of the day. This drop in blood sugar isn't a big concern for younger folks. Their bodies quickly adapt. But as we age, our glucose regulation mechanisms become less efficient. When you drink only water without any nutrients in the morning, you're asking your brain to function on empty. This is particularly concerning because a landmark study from the University of Southern California found that adults over 70 who regularly skip breakfast have a 54% higher risk of cognitive decline than those who eat breakfast consistently. That's not a slight difference. It's significant enough that neurologists now often ask about breakfast habits when evaluating memory concerns. I want to share the story of Barbara, a vibrant 71-year-old in Arizona. Barbara had always been health conscious, but she constantly explored new wellness trends like many of us. I kept hearing about intermittent fasting on my favorite health podcasts, Barbara told our group. All these wellness experts talked about giving your digestive system a break and drinking water until noon. It sounded so scientific and beneficial. Barbara decided to try this approach. She'd drink several glasses of water throughout the morning, sometimes with lemon, but wouldn't eat anything until lunchtime, around 1 p.m. The first few weeks, I felt pretty good, she admitted. I lost a few pounds and felt a sense of accomplishment for sticking with the program. But after about 2 months, Barbara's daughter began noticing some concerning changes. "Mom, you've asked me the same question 3 times today," she pointed out during a Sunday visit. Barbara had also started misplacing items, forgetting appointments, and most alarmingly, got momentarily confused about how to drive to her longtime church. "I just chalked it up to getting older," Barbara said with a sad smile. "You expect some memory slips in your 70s, right?" Fortunately, Barbara's daughter convinced her to see a neurologist. After a thorough evaluation, the doctor found no signs of severe cognitive conditions, but zeroed in on her morning fasting routine. He explained that at my age, my brain needs a steady supply of glucose, especially in the morning after the overnight fast, Barbara said. By extending that fast until afternoon, I was essentially starving my brain during its most vulnerable hours. The solution was straightforward. Barbara started eating a light breakfast with protein and complex carbohydrates about 30 minutes after her morning water. Within just 2 weeks, her mental clarity returned. I could remember names again, find my keys, and navigate without confusion. My daughter says it's like I'm 5 years younger. How can we balance proper morning hydration with our body's nutritional needs? First, start with hydration. Drink 8 ounces of room temperature water within 15 minutes of waking. This rehydrates your system after the overnight water loss. Then wait about 20 to 30 minutes before having a nutrient-rich breakfast. This timing allows your body to properly hydrate first, while giving your digestive system a gentle wake-up call. For your breakfast, focus on 3 key components: protein for brain function, eggs, Greek yogurt, or a small portion of lean meat; complex carbohydrates for sustained energy, oatmeal, whole grain toast, or sweet potatoes; and healthy fats for hormone balance, avocado, nuts, or olive oil. If you're still interested in the benefits of fasting, consider working with a geriatric nutritionist to develop a modified approach that's safer for older adults. Many of my clients have succeeded with a gentle fasting window from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., which gives them many benefits without compromising brain function. So there you have it, the 5 most common mistakes seniors make when drinking water in the morning. These small changes, from water temperature, drinking pace, container type, and medication timing to not skipping breakfast, can make a remarkable difference in your daily health and well-being. Remember, our bodies are changing as we age, and something as seemingly simple as how we drink water becomes more critical than ever before. Try at least one change this coming week and feel the difference. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with your loved ones. You might help someone find the solution to health issues they've been struggling with. Don't forget to leave a comment sharing your morning water habits or results after trying these tips. Wishing you a day filled with energy and vibrant health.